As we approach the holiday season with all that's going on in the world today, outside where I'm at, it's just a gorgeous day. The sun is shining, a little bit cool as fall is approaching, but it's overall a beautiful day. But I wonder, what difference does Christmas make if the world is still going up in flames? The only difference it can make is the difference that Christians allow it to make, first in relationship with each other, and then in relationship with the rest of the world, which I think raises some challenging questions when we consider not only the state of the world, but our relationship as Christians to the world in light of what Christmas is all about. According to John, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. So as we think about this verse, John 3:16, as a center point of what Christmas is really all about, what life is all about, and the role that ought to be played by us in life as we transition and anticipate what comes after this life. And both from the traditional Christian perspective, what happens to those who in fact have everlasting life, and what happens to those who do not accept the gift of God. I wonder what the whosoever encompasses. Who in fact is part of the whosoever that God died for? As we think about the different people in the world, the different experiences we have with people, the people we encountered personally, the people that are encountered in the context of our casual walk through life, people who we will never encounter, people whose lives are so different from ours, we can't even really imagine what it is that their life is like. And yet I wonder if, in fact, we're willing to grant that all of them are part of the whosoever. And I wonder if, in fact, we ask this question in the context of who isn't included. Who does whosoever leave out? We may say it leaves out nobody, that Jesus died for all, but how do we live in light of the claim that Jesus died for all? How do we adopt positions in the world that put us at odds with others in the world as Christians, as opposed to adopting positions in the world as members of the world? How is it that the manger leads to the cross, and that is supposed to have a difference because of God's love for all? How does that love for all translate in the lives of those who claim to be part of the whosoever, and yet find themselves not only in a world that rejects those claims, but often find themselves in a world in which they are at odds with others who claim to be part of that whosoever? John 13:34-35, Jesus says, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love one for another." So if love is the defining characteristic of the Christian, if the purpose of Christmas is to demonstrate God's love, and that demonstration of God's love cost the life of the Son, I wonder what cost we might be called to bear in order to be testaments to the love of God in a world that desperately needs it. Is it possible to distinguish ourselves as Christians from the other aspects of ourselves by which we are known in the world at large? In other words, what do we consider our primary identity? What is the main thing? If we claim that being a Christian is our primary identity, then how does my identity as a Christian, my understanding of Christianity, frame my life as a citizen of a nation, an ethnic group, a political party, a member of a family, a society member, etc.? In other words, what difference does Christmas make by allowing those who identify with Christ to be called Christians in a world that Christ died to save? Versus my identity as husband, father, American, Democrat, Republican, Ukrainian, Russian, etc. All the other aspects of our being, all the other roles that we play as we live life, how do those impact, or how are they impacted by our claims to be Christian? How do I live as a person with various roles to play in the world without overshadowing my identity and purpose as a Christian? Do people know me first as a Christian and then as a husband, father, American, etc.? Or do people know me as a Democrat or a Republican who claims to be Christian? What difference will Christmas make in the lives of the Ukrainian and Russian Christians, members of different Orthodox churches who claim faith in the same God, who will be celebrating Christmas on opposite sides of battle lines? How is it that our way of living life, of being Christians in the world, is actually making a difference in the world compared to a world without us as Christians? The Lord reigns, let the earth rejoice, let the many coastlands be glad, says Psalm 97:1. What would it be like if, in fact, that cry of the psalmist was made manifest through the people of God? What if not only the people of God called out, but who responded to God's gift in Christ at Christmas were to live as if, in fact, God makes a difference? How would we handle ourselves in the context of a world that, for many, have no idea who God is or what the love of God is, even apart from those who, having known, have rejected? What difference would those who claim to be Christian make if, in fact, they lived as Christians? So, again, what difference does Christmas make if the world is still going up in flames? Christians need to think seriously about how to answer that question, even as they seek to address the context in which we live, the different issues by which our current life is defined. Thank you all. Look forward to hearing what you have to say. Bye bye. Thank you very much for your time. I've got a couple other videos listed here if you'd like to take a look at those, and as I'd like to discuss issues related to politics, religion, society, and how in the world we're supposed to understand ourselves and life in the world. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Bye bye.